you missed time and young receiving core, and they've missed some time too. Just kind of where you are in the passing game right now, versus where you think you want to get to be in several weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we're continuing to get better. I mean, each and every day that we go out there, as you said, obviously with the time missed, whether it be the timing, whether it just be being on the same page, these are things that just out here at practice, we're gonna speed up that process. And so, yeah, I mean, it's part of it. It's part of it, and the passing game will get there. And when it does, that'll just be another way that we can win. Obviously, adding it to the run game, play action, and just being comfortable with each other.
What's Zeke's mindset right now as he decides?
Zeke,
Yeah.
I'm Dak.
He said, "What's his mindset?"
Oh yeah, I mean, ask him.
Y'all are close, but you know what he's going through. I'm just saying you've been through it. I'm just you know.
I mean, yeah, the guys. I mean, he's doing everything he can to play. I mean, that's what he's always going to do. That's who he is, and yeah, just trying to get himself healthy.
If he doesn't play, does anything change with the offense? And talk about your confidence in Tony.
I mean, my confidence, yeah, in Tony is through the roof, and you just look at what he's done in the time and in his carries, and anytime his number is called, he's a guy that's going to step up and be his best, and he's a hell of a player. Obviously, out of the backfield, whether it's running the ball, whether it's catching, lining up a receiver. So it's just about us making sure that we get him the ball where he's comfortable and in space to make plays. And yeah, if that happens, the rest of the guys will pick it up and do what we have to do to make sure that. Yeah, we fill in that hole in his absence.
He's just so good at blitz pickup and protecting you in the backfield against the pass rush. What do you lose in that regard if he can't go?
I mean, as I said, I've got a lot of confidence in Tony. And not only Tony, those other young guys getting in there. And really, at the end of the day, it's about being on the same page with the offensive linemen, with everybody, and making sure that we're not putting those backs or those guys in that pass protection in a bind and putting them on a big guy or a guy that they shouldn't be on, and knowing my heights, knowing my adjustments, and just ways to get the ball out of my hands to not only help the back, but just to help the guys up front.
You guys found a groove offensively in the second half against the Lions. What changed over the first half that you can kind of take into the game against Chicago?
Yeah, I mean, we got some first downs. When you get some first downs, that obviously helps. And when you are doing well on first down, it makes the third down shorter. And I think that's what you saw on that drive. I mean, I don't even know if we had one third down on that drive coming out in the second half, and it's important for us to do that, and it helps when we're not self-inflicting penalties and making little errors like that obviously put us behind the chains. And when our defense is giving us field position and playing like they are, it's important for us to pick it up and make sure that we're rewarding those guys in points.
The false starts, were they trying to get used to your voice again, or how do you explain that?
I mean, it's a aspect of the communication. I wouldn't say necessarily it's my voice or anything like that, but I've got to be better and make sure I give those guys enough time to make sure that they get their calls, their communication. One guy's not answering more than the other, and just making sure we're clean before the ball snap. I'm sorry, that in there is just that is mind blowing.
It's been 30 minutes.
25 pass attempts last week, and you go, I think that's the third lowest over the last 58 regular season games. How much of that was a function of just your first game back, and how much a function of just you're not getting as many snaps offensively this year because of the third down issues and some other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as you just said, the snap, how many plays we're getting. I think that's more of it than anything. And maybe that's a Kellen question. That's not necessarily. I don't think necessarily the hand or any injury or lack of time had any effect in that. Obviously, you want to run the ball. When you run the ball, that opens up the pass game, and so we've got to establish that. But as you said, we're not getting first downs, and we're going 3 and outs. The number of plays that we're getting go down, and so we've got to do a better job of getting more first downs and just getting more cracks at bat. Just getting more plays, and with more plays, more opportunities come for everybody.
Is that a different brace than you had last week?
No, I haven't been wearing a brace. This is all just KT tape. This is no different than the first thing I ever put on. So.
Did you wear that in the game?
This is what I wore in the game, yes.
With
About the resiliency of Tyler Smith, struggled early against Aiden Hutchinson, but then in the second half he didn't hear his name called at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 12 o'clock game, and he's a young player. And I put a little bit of that on me and the leaders, making sure that some of those guys are ready to go. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily called him out, but I asked him, to come alive, and he definitely did that in the second half. And a guy like Tyler, that's essentially all you need is just make sure that he knows that you've got his back and you believe in him, and he goes out there and put on the performances he does in the second half when he knows the guys believe in him.
Jack, speaking of younger players, we heard that you instigated the backflip with Cavante. Are you going to join him in doing that?
No, no chance.
How to do any of those gymnastic moves?
I'm trying to stay healthy.
How did that conversation come up that he could even do a backflip?
I think he did one at practice one day, and I mean, the guy can jump out of this world. I mean, just see routes on there, and sometimes him go up for the passes. I'm sure he can do all kind of gymnastic flips. But yeah, just kept it simple with the little back flip. And he said, should he do it? And I said, heck yeah, why not? It's a celebration.
With
Initially, I'm like, hey, it makes this week easier. And then you hear it's Philly, and you're like, well, I guess I'll see him down the road. But I mean, obviously, Robert was here. So, I mean, just wish him success. He's a great guy, great football player, and that's all part of the business.
Is the way that Chicago went into New England and won that game decisively an attention getter for you guys as you get ready to play them going into your bye week?
I mean, it's the NFL. You look around the league and you say, oh, this team's supposed to win this game, and then you see after the game, and that doesn't happen. It's been happening week in and week out. So I can't necessarily say that was an eye-opener. I mean, I give every opponent that I play respect, being the NFL, understanding those guys get paid, those guys go to work, those guys are coached well, all at the same effort, and it's all about matchups, and it's all about who's coming out better that day. So I know this is a good team we're playing against, a great defense. Obviously, Coach Flus was here, so understanding what he expects from his defense, the way that they play, their mentality. Yeah, we're buckling down and know we've got a great opponent ahead, and that's all that really matters, taking it one day at a time.
How much? If teams do take on the identity of their head coach, what is their identity now?
The Bears, yeah, I mean they're aggressive. They're going at it. They play hard. They play sound. You can see on film all the guys that they're getting around the ball. And I just remember in the time that he was here, that's something that he took a lot of pride in. Is when the play was dead, is how many jerseys were around that. And you turn on the Bears film and you can see that he's implicated that in that defense. And so it's important for us to, on offense, to be around the ball, make sure we're keeping the body on the body, and just playing hard to the end of the whistle.
Speaking to the defense, how excited were you from just the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys to see a player like Jonathan Hankins get dropped into a defense that's already elite under him?
Yeah, I mean, I've played against him early in my career, knowing just the type of player he is, a great run stopper, and just being added to this group of the group of dogs that they've got in that D-line is special. And I know that he's going to come in and do his job and make that room even more exciting.
How much more comfortable are you in this second week back, and what kind of jump can you take?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more comfortable and just having more reps at it, more practice reps. That creates that. Having another good day at practice the last 2 days. We'll continue to button down on my preparation to make sure all the guys are on the same page of communication. And, yeah, this team can win in a lot of different ways, and I think it's a chance just for us to show it.
With trying to get the passing game where you want it to ultimately be, is that something you expect will take several weeks and games, or is it something that can click like Sunday?
I mean, I want to win. I want to win. If that means going out there and throwing it 20 times, 200 yards, touchdown, no touchdowns, I'll do that. Or 400, 5 touchdowns, whatever's asked of me, that's all that really matters. I just care about the final score at the end of the game. And, yeah, wanting to get the passing game. I mean, my expectations are a ball doesn't hit the ground. So that's just the way that I try to practice. It's the way that we communicate, and that's the standard that we're going to hold ourselves here too. So, yeah, until we're there, we're never going to be satisfied.
What's been McCarthy's message about focus on this game, worrying about the bye week and all the stuff next week?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're focused on this week, and he made that clear Monday. Obviously, gave us the schedule of the bye week. It says this is the last we're going to talk about it until post game. And as we're adults and we're men, we can do that. We obviously understand what's after this game, but right now it's about focusing in on each day. And as I said, understand that we've got a really good team and a team that just played really well Monday night. So we've got to make sure that we lock in, focus on getting the win. It's about getting win number 6 at the end of the day, and we can enjoy the bye week when that comes.
Jerry spoke after the game about expecting you to be running 5 or 6 times a game on a weekly basis. Are you aware of that, and how does that compare with what your expectations are in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, whatever, as I just said, I just care about winning. So whatever's asked or required of me, I'm going to do. I said in the last game, I felt like I should have ran that first play of the game. So, I mean, yeah, expect if that happens again, I am. And I had one more carry later in the game. So, I mean, whatever's required, whatever the defense gives me, it just all comes in my preparation to make sure I'm prepared for that.
You were saying after that. After David? You were saying after the game that some of your throws you felt you were a little overconfident with. But was that really more just from the timing issue? You hadn't been back? Because those are throws you made a lot over the –
Which throws?
You were saying you made some throws.
No, I know.
I'm
I'm just
you were overconfident.
The ones you threw in the
Try
double
to fit
coverage.
into a tight window.
I felt like they were there. I'm just saying, yeah, they were aggressive, but I felt like the ball was where I wanted it to be. So, I mean, yeah, and I think that's just being on the same communication. I mean, I trust my guys. And I think as much as anything, it's about making sure those guys understand that the trust I have in them. And if I feel like I can put the ball there and believe that they can go make that catch, that's all that matters. And we just need to both be expectant and communicate on that. So, yeah.
You talked about respecting the identity of this team on the defensive side. What's it been like for you to watch the defense go from where it was coming out of 2020 to where it is now?
Our defense? Coming from when 2020? Yeah, that's not even close, the comparison. Just honestly, in one word, just jumps in my head is trust. The trust that they have in each other, trust that they have in their coach. You see it in their communication, you see it in their efforts, you see it in the way that they just fly around. And, I see it anytime I go against them out here at defense. And then to just be on the sideline and watch them give the other team headaches, it's fun. And it's great to get the ball back with all the turnovers they create and make it tough on the defense. As I said, on the offense, as I said, it's important for us to make sure that we're rewarding these guys with points, though, and more points.
All right, thanks, Dak.
Thank you.